The moon hung heavy in the sky, casting long shadows on the thick, dense forest that stretched for miles. The wind whispered through the leaves, carrying with it ancient secrets and forgotten legends. Deep within this forest, a hidden valley lay shrouded in mist, a place feared by mortals for centuries. It was said to be the home of the most powerful, mystical creatures, serpentine spirits, beings with the ability to shift between human and snake form, wielding immense magic and wisdom. Among these serpents, two were the most feared and revered, Lan Wangji and Wei Wuxian. Lan Wangji, a majestic white serpent, with shimmering silver scales that reflected the moonlight, was known as the Silent Guardian. He was revered for his strength, wisdom, and stoic demeanor. His control over the elements, especially water and air, made him a formidable force in the valley. His large, coiled form often rested at the peak of the forest, watching over the land like a protector, though he rarely interacted with others. In contrast, Wei Wuxian, a sleek black serpent, was the embodiment of chaos and freedom. His dark scales, like shadows, blended into the night, and his piercing red eyes were both mesmerizing and dangerous. Known as the Shadow Serpent, Wei Wuxian had a reputation for causing trouble among the humans who lived on the edges of the forest. His control over dark magic and his mischievous nature made him unpredictable. Yet, despite his wild behavior, his charm and warmth were undeniable, drawing creatures and mortals alike toward him. One fateful night, Wei Wuxian, bored of the quiet life in the valley, slithered out into the human villages. He loved to tease and test the humans, often slipping between their houses undetected, causing small, harmless pranks. His laughter echoed in the wind as he tricked the humans into thinking the wind carried voices, or that their shadows had minds of their own. But tonight, things were different. A group of humans, armed with weapons and infused with ancient magic, had entered the forest. They had come for the serpents, believing they could capture their magic for their own use. Unbeknownst to Wei Wuxian, they had set traps all around the edges of the valley. As he moved through the trees, his lithe, graceful form was caught in one of these traps. Silver chains, glowing with an ancient energy, wrapped tightly around his body, preventing him from shifting into his human form or using his magic. His usually fluid movements became frantic as he struggled against the bindings, but to no avail. His energy was being drained, and soon, even his mocking voice fell silent. Lan Wangji, sensing a disturbance in the balance of the forest, moved swiftly toward the source. His powerful form cut through the mist, his golden eyes glowing with purpose. He was not one to meddle in others' affairs, but the energy he felt was familiar. His heart, normally calm and steady, quickened as he recognized the distinct aura of Wei Wuxian. Arriving at the scene, Lan Wangji's gaze sharpened as he saw Wei Wuxian bound by the chains, surrounded by a group of humans who chanted in an unfamiliar language. Without hesitation, Lan Wangji attacked. His body shimmered and twisted as he shifted into his human form, his long, flowing robes moving with the grace of the serpent he truly was. With a flick of his hand, the air around him thickened, swirling into a tempest that sent the humans flying back. With precision and ease, Lan Wangji shattered the chains that bound Wei Wuxian, catching his weakened body as he collapsed. Weighing, Lan Wangji's voice was low, filled with a rare emotion that surprised even himself. Wei Wuxian, now in his human form, gave a weak laugh, leaning against Lan Wangji's chest. Lan Zhan, always coming to my rescue. You're predictable, you know that? Lan Wangji's grip tightened, but he said nothing. His focus was on getting them both to safety before more hunters arrived. Back in the heart of the valley, Wei Wuxian slowly recovered, though his usual lively spirit seemed subdued. He watched Lan Wangji from a distance, sensing the tension between them. For years, their interactions had been brief, always marked by the contrast of their personalities, Lan Wangji's cold, disciplined nature and Wei Wuxian's chaotic, free-spirited behavior. But something had changed. Wei Wuxian had always admired Lan Wangji, secretly drawn to his unwavering strength and the quiet care he often showed in subtle ways. Lan Wangji, despite his silence, had found himself equally captivated by Wei Wuxian's carefree laughter and untamed magic. Their differences pulled them toward each other like magnets, even as they tried to maintain their distance. Days after the attack, Wei Wuxian approached Lan Wangji, who stood by the river, his serpent form shimmering under the moonlight. "Why did you save me?" Wei Wuxian asked, though his tone was playful, a smirk dancing on his lips. Lan Wangji turned to face him, his golden eyes unreadable. "You would have died." Wei Wuxian chuckled, stepping closer. "I've gotten out of worse situations." Lan Wangji didn't respond, but his eyes softened ever so slightly. Taking a deep breath, Wei Wuxian's expression grew more serious. "Lan Zhan. I don't know what's happening between us, but," he paused, struggling to find the words. Before he could finish, Lan Wangji spoke, his voice barely above a whisper. "I have felt it too." Wei Wuxian blinked, momentarily stunned by the admission. The air between them crackled with tension, but not the dangerous kind. This was something deeper, more profound. Lan Wangji shifted into his human form, standing tall and composed as always, but his gaze never left Wei Wuxian's. "We are not like the others, Wei Ying. We are bound by more than just this forest, more than just our magic." Wei Wuxian's heart raced. "Then what is it?" Lan Wangji took a step forward, his voice soft, but filled with a gravity that shook Wei Wuxian to his core. "Destiny." As their bond deepened, a greater threat loomed over the valley. The humans, emboldened by their recent discoveries, were planning an all-out attack. Their goal was simple: to capture the serpents and harness their power for their own gain. Wei Wuxian and Lan Wangji would need to combine their strength, not only to protect the valley, but to protect each other. In a race against time, they prepared for the final confrontation, their newfound connection becoming the key to unlocking a power they had never known before. Together, they would fight to defend their home, their bond, and their future. But with danger at every turn, and the weight of destiny pressing down on them, could they truly survive what was to come?